Sophie never thought one favor for her sister could twist her life in such a strange, beautiful way. It was supposed to be a quick trip, drive to the airport, hold up a sign, and pick up a tired businessman from Japan. Her sister Lily had been doing freelance translation for months, juggling clients and languages like a pro. But tonight, a bad case of the flu pinned her to bed. "Sophie, please," Lily begged over the phone, voice muffled under blankets. "It's just a pickup. The guy's name is Mr. Kenji Takeda. I already texted him you'll be there. Just pretend you're me until I can reschedule tomorrow." Sophie hesitated. She was the artistic one in the family, spontaneous, curious, a bit scatterbrained. Airports made her anxious, and pretending to be someone else wasn't exactly her strong suit. But looking at her sister's pale face, she sighed. "Fine, but you owe me a week of breakfast in bed." By the time she reached the airport, the evening rush was in full swing. Luggage carts rattled, families reunited in teary hugs, and the scent of coffee mixed with jet fuel. Sophie stood near the arrival's gate, holding a neat white card that said Mr. Takeda in bold black letters. She straightened her blouse, tucked a loose strand of hair behind her ear, and tried to look professional. Minutes turned into half an hour. Just as she started doubting if she was even in the right terminal, a tall man emerged from the sliding doors, sharp gray suit, dark eyes, and an air of quiet authority. His gaze swept the crowd until it landed on her. For a moment, the noise around Sophie vanished. He approached with calm confidence, rolling a sleek black suitcase behind him. When he spoke, his voice was deep, gentle, and slightly accented. "Miss Lily." Sophie's pulse jumped. Her throat went dry. She opened her mouth to correct him, to say she was actually Lily's sister, but the words tangled somewhere between panic and awe. Instead, she nodded weakly. "Yes, I'm Lily." He smiled, polite but distant, as if he'd been expecting someone far older or more serious. "I'm Kenji Takeda. Thank you for coming. I appreciate your time." His handshake was firm, his skin warm, and his cologne subtle, something earthy, expensive, and impossible to forget. As they walked toward the exit, Sophie stole glances at him. There was something lonely about his posture, the kind of silence that doesn't come from shyness, but from years of being misunderstood. He didn't speak much on the way to the car, just thanked her again and commented on how different this city felt from Tokyo. Sophie, clutching her steering wheel, tried to respond in the most formal tone she could manage. "Yes, it's lively here." He smiled faintly, looking out the window. "Lively," he repeated softly. And in that single word, Sophie felt something spark, as if destiny had mistaken her for someone else, just to put her in that moment. The drive from the airport to the hotel was quiet at first, the kind of silence that felt almost delicate, as if one wrong word could shatter it. Sophie gripped the steering wheel, her heart beating too fast, still unsure how long she could keep up the act. Every few seconds, she glanced at him in the rearview mirror, Kenji Takeda, the man she'd just accidentally lied to. He sat in the backseat with perfect posture, his gaze drifting out the window. City lights reflected in his dark eyes, turning them into twin mirrors of golden glass. Finally, his voice broke the silence. "You drive very carefully, Miss Lily." "Most drivers rush." Sophie smiled nervously. I like to enjoy the view," she said, instantly regretting how casual it sounded. To her surprise, Kenji chuckled, a low, restrained sound, but it made her chest flutter. "That's rare," he said. "In Tokyo, everyone rushes, even when they don't know why." They passed bridges, rain-speckled streets, and blinking traffic lights. Sophie wanted to say something smart, something that wouldn't expose her as a fraud. So she reached for one of the few Japanese phrases she remembered from anime. Anata wa genki desu ka." Kenji turned his head sharply, surprised, and then smiled, really smiled this time. "Ah, you speak Japanese." Sophie laughed awkwardly. "Just a little, very little." He nodded, amused. "Your accent is charming." The compliment sent warmth through her cheeks. "Thank you," she murmured, gripping the wheel tighter. When they reached the hotel, a luxurious glass tower glittering in the night, the rain began to pour heavily. Kenji looked out the window and sighed. "I suppose I should wait until it slows down. Would you mind joining me inside for a few minutes? I'd like to buy you a tea, for your trouble." Sophie's first instinct was to refuse. This was already too risky. But something about his tone, gentle yet lonely, made her nod. "Sure, just until the rain stops." Inside the hotel, The lobby glowed in amber light. The marble floor reflected chandeliers like tiny stars. Kenji led her to a quiet corner near the window, where they sat as rain cascaded outside. He ordered green tea for both of them. As the steam rose from the cups, his voice softened. "You remind me of someone," he said. "My wife. She used to ask questions about everything, the city, the people, even the rain." Sophie's breath caught. He nodded slowly. "She passed away 3 years ago. Since then, I travel for business, mostly. Work doesn't argue with you. It doesn't leave." There was such quiet pain in his words that Sophie couldn't speak. She wanted to reach out, to say something comforting, but all she managed was, "I'm sorry." Kenji gave a small, weary smile. "Don't be. You listened. That's rare these days." And as the rain whispered against the glass, Sophie realized something dangerous. She wasn't pretending anymore. The next morning, Sophie woke with a weight in her chest that she couldn't shake. The night before had played in her mind like a dream, the rain, the tea, the soft sadness in Kenji's eyes. It had felt so real, so intimate, and yet built on a lie. Every time she remembered introducing herself as Lily, guilt twisted inside her. Her phone buzzed violently on the nightstand. It was her sister. "Sophie, what did you do?" Lily's voice was sharp, half panic, half disbelief. Sophie rubbed her temple. "What are you talking about?" "Kenji Takeda called the agency early this morning," Lily said, coughing between words. "He requested to meet me again tonight for dinner, said he had an important offer to discuss." "Sophie, what did you say to him?" Sophie froze. "Nothing. We just talked. I swear." "Well, congratulations," Lily snapped. "Now I have to meet a man who thinks I'm you pretending to be me." Before Sophie could explain further, Lily hung up. The guilt became unbearable. She couldn't let her sister face that humiliation. There was only one thing to do, she had to tell the truth herself. By afternoon, the city was glowing under the same golden haze as the previous night. Sophie dressed carefully, simple dress, no makeup this time, and drove to the hotel. Her heart hammered as she crossed the lobby. Kenji was already waiting near the cafe, a cup of tea untouched before him. He looked up as she approached. "You came," he said calmly. Sophie swallowed hard. "Mr. Takeda, I need to tell you something." But before she could finish, he smiled faintly. "You're Sophie, aren't you?" The word stunned her into silence. "I suspected it last night," he continued. "You hesitated when I said my wife's name, and Lily would never forget my flight number. She's been handling my schedules for months." He leaned back slightly, studying her face. "But I wanted to see if you'd come today." Sophie's eyes burned. "I didn't mean to lie. My sister was sick, and I didn't want to ruin your arrival." "I'm so sorry." Kenji nodded slowly. "I know, but I'm glad you did." She blinked. "Glad?" He gave a small, warm smile, the kind that reached his eyes this time. "Last night, for the first time in years, I didn't feel like a businessman or a widower. You reminded me what it's like to have a genuine conversation, without contracts, without titles." Sophie stared at him, speechless. He slid a small white envelope across the table. "Inside is a plane ticket to Tokyo. I'll be back next week. Dinner, at the Shinjuku Garden Hotel." No pretending this time. She opened the envelope with trembling hands, then looked up, but Kenji was already standing, suitcase in hand, walking toward the exit. Through the glass doors, she watched him disappear into the sunlight, realizing that sometimes life's most beautiful moments begin with a single, reckless mistake, and the courage to face it.